So you guys been wanting me to change the theme song sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song. So here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Just how she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixed the audio. I solemnly did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this. I'm scared of this thing. Well, mostly my favorite part in that, mostly the her part of the flashbacks that they have throughout the game happened in this, because the game in this episode of Last of Us season 2, episode 6. So this is mostly just flashbacks of everything, pretty much everything, like I said in the game. Throughout the time Ellie's in Seattle, she's remembering stuff that she did with Joel before he died. That took place in between this first game and the second game, because Joel, since he saved her, she wanted her to have childhood memories with her, and that happens here. And now they did add a part at the very beginning of this episode that did not happen in the game. It was nice to see this. It's pretty cool because we got to see both Tommy and Joel as kids. Joel probably, like, I don't know, because he looks at least about, the kids playing him looks about 15 or 14, around Ellie's age. And Tommy looks about 12. And they did something they weren't supposed to. Tommy was trying to get drugs from somebody, and Joel ends up taking the hit for it. Their dad's not dumb. Because he's a cop, so he knows what happened. So you find out that both Tommy and Joel were both abused, but so was their dad. Because his dad stole a candy bar when he was a kid and got his jaw broken by his dad. Their grandma thought that he was killed because how badly their grandpa hit him. It's mostly just to say, like, this one line that gets used later on in the episode that Joel says to Ellie after he finally tells her the truth of what happened in Salt Lake City with the Fireflies, that I hope you would do better if you have one. So technically, just like what we know of, later on, spoilers alert, and since Dana, for some reason I called her, when I was reading the book, I thought her name was Diane. I don't know, I guess they spell the name similar a lot in here, so I thought that was wrong. So yeah, and that's how that went when I played the game. So I'm apologizing for if anybody ever watched that. This is me apologizing.
Doris ate 600 pounds of plants each day. Whew. Imagine the poops.
Yeah, there's one scene where actually one of the guys said, "That's a big mound of shit."
That is one big pile of shit.
We have, after that, they show the part where Ellie and Joel go to the museum for her 16th birthday. Since she knows how to drive, takes her to a museum, because a museum that is basically a history museum and a science museum, because it has dinosaurs and astronaut stuff in it. Now, I understand why they didn't show the whole entire stuff in the game, in the episode, but in the game it was a lot more. They explored a lot more of it. They did since they were in the dinosaur area. Joel brought up Jurassic Park. He didn't say the movie. The movie they probably didn't have the permission to use it, but they used, like, you could definitely tell since it. Like, because Joel even says Jeff Goldblum's line in the game. That's one big style shit. So, and Ellie has a hat. She keeps on putting a hat on all the dinosaurs. Basically, it's called that's a Hatosaurus. But here, mostly what they cover in the episode is her getting on the T-Rex. The part where they go into this astronaut ship, and Joel gives her a cassette of the recording of Neil Armstrong talking about going to the moon for the first time, which I don't care what those people who don't believe in that stuff say. It really happened, okay? They really went. And the reason why they don't see the stars and stuff is because cameras sucked back then, okay? They were not as advanced as they were, as they are now, okay? I know, I just know people who don't believe in that stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna say who. Anyway, and seeing her face where she imagines her go up on the moon since she is an astronaut. Since she wants to be an astronaut, Ellie does. And then we have a couple years later where she ends up burning her the cut where she got bit, so she can wear short sleeves again. So she won't have to hide. And eventually Joel understands why she does it. At first he is a little bit mad at her, but then because Tommy finds her when she's doing it, she actually does it herself. I thought she would do it herself. It makes sense. And then a couple years later, now when she's like 17, she does drugs. Kat puts a tattoo on her arm to cover up the burnt mark, which, if you have a mark and you're ashamed of it, we covered it with tattoo so we don't have to look at it anymore. I've done it. I have one on my leg because I have a scar on my leg too, just not for the same reason, but we understand. I can totally relate with Ellie on this. So yeah, then they did a little bit differently than they did in the game. Because in the game, this part, how she finds out that Joel lied to her, is that she actually goes back to the hospital and finds a recording about the Marlene talking about her or some firefly. And so she ends up figuring out, and it makes him tell the truth. Now, as far as we know, we don't know if she ever forgave him, but I always think that she did, because why else would she be going out and trying to kill Abby? Wanting to kill Abby if she didn't forgive him eventually. And they did it differently here in the game, in the show. Remember the fact that we have like Eugene, the one who owns owns the weed, and like at the beginning of the episode where Jesse and Ellie go into patrol. Remember that was his. Oh yeah, they also like did like a Peanuts reference earlier, because Catherine O'Hara was reading a book, and Joel comes like asking for advice about a moth, and asking what that means. It means death, because he thought it meant dream and grow stuff, but that's butterflies. But she did a Peanuts jokes like, do I look like Lucy from Peanuts? I think you owe her a nickel. So Ellie learns in the show differently that Joel lied, because when Eugene got bit, which he did, because they were on patrol for the first time since she moved, because they were ruled that you have to be like an adult to go on patrol. That way that way people have that's why they have a childhood. That's what Tommy's role is, which is a good role. And she Eugene wants to go and see Gail, the one Castle O'Hara plays in here. And Tommy goes and not Tommy. Joel tells Ellie to go and get the horses and said he swore, "I will not shoot him. I will let him say goodbye to his wife." But he ends up lying, shooting him, and telling him, "If you love her, you would always know what her face looks like." So it's kind of reference the fact that even though he has not seen Sarah in a very long time, he still remembers what she looks like. Yeah, definitely. So, like, if you lost someone, you can totally relate to what he means. No matter how many years that person's been gone, you can always remember their face. So, and he ends up shooting Eugene, and so he lied to Eugene and Ellie, and also he ends up lying to Gail, saying that he wanted to not get her in danger and have her accident get bit by him. But Ellie tells the truth, and Joel gets smacked. And this is where we also see the dance from Joel's perspective, where Ellie and Dana are both dancing, and Seth does the homophobe stuff, saying that this is a church, calls him a bad word and stuff like that. And then Joel pushes him. So basically we have it from his perspective instead of Ellie's perspective this time. Because he gets called Uncle Grumpy by his nephew. Which was pretty cute. And Sarah, Maria says it's good to have Uncle Grumpy part of the family. So yeah. And then after the dance, Ellie and Joel have a talk on the porch of their house, where finally Joel tells her the truth. So yeah, that's how it's different. And saying, like, she's asking him all these questions, and she was gonna ask him before Eugene. She had wrote a note in the show, like rehearsing it. Basically, this is basically time to break in all those rehearsals. and she ends up asking him the truth this time. All we're done. And so, yep, Joel tells her the truth, that he did kill all the Fireflies, and including I mentioned her name earlier, Marlene, asking her for, so yeah, and tells him that they could have made you a cure, but it would have killed you since it was in the head. But she says, you took the choice away from me, basically, and because could have mattered. You didn't do it, she says, because you were selfish. No, because I loved you. And Joel was crying. I think Pedro Pascal did a pretty good job of passing it along. Okay, because the fact that he's able to do this much crying on cue was pretty good. I don't know which one did it better. They did it differently. I don't know. But I don't know, because I find it weird that in the game that everything would still be there for her to listen to, that they didn't take it back with her. Like Abby did not take it away when it happened, so she would be able to hear their voices. So I always found that a little bit odd. But I'm probably gonna give this one like a 9 out of 10. Pretty good. Nice to see that they covered pretty much all the flashbacks in here, and the episode ends with Ellie returning from killing Nora from the hospital, and that's how the episode ends. So yeah, it's a really good episode. It's nice to see them like cover basically all the flashbacks, so they don't have to focus on it in the next season and just focus on Abby and Ellie, because we haven't really seen that much of Abby ever since she's killed Joel. But it was nice to see Pedro again, and I like the fact that in the theme song that they put him back in the theme song, because he's in it, so it was really nice. So far, just like in the game, this is my favorite episode, because when this part came up, even before we saw the museum in it, this was my favorite part of the game. The museum was my favorite part, because it was how much we miss Joel, and seeing him again made it all the better. But I like that part in the game. Also in here, because Ellie's able to be a kid. She doesn't have to worry about anything happening for this little bit while she's in the museum, on the show and in the game. Both times she can both just be a kid and be like everybody else, where she doesn't have to worry about if I'm going to watch my friends being turned into a monster. She can just be a kid and get to be an astronaut for a little bit. So yeah, this is because we don't have to go on the moon. We're just being ballsy. So yeah. So I'll see you guys later. He also plays the song after me being so mad about it. Like, I know it still, I wish this kind of episode happened earlier on, but I guess it kind of makes sense here, since right after what she just did in the episode, that the fact that she killed somebody basically, and her first step of doing revenge and killing Nora, I guess it makes sense here for her to remember everything that happened between her and Joel before, and why she's doing this. So it makes sense. But hearing Pedro Pascal doing the song is okay. Joel Troy Baker, I don't know. They both are good singers, I would say, but they both do it like in a deep voice, so because they're both rusty at it, and so yeah. But I try my best when I'm hearing something like this song even though I do want to sing it, I try my best not to, so because I can hear them sing it. So yeah, just want to add that. Just like for and subscribe, and here's a joke from good old Joel.
What is the downside to eating a clock? It's time consuming.
That's so dumb.
So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, favorite, and subscribe, and bye-bye.